The many toxic relationships of Playboi Carti.
Playboi Carti has a long history of violence, lies, and manipulation in many of his relationships. Whether this be shooting or physically attacking them, Carti never fails to cross a boundary that isn't supposed to be violated. His troubled history, marked by allegations from his ex-girlfriends, has raised questions about the boundaries of fame and accountability in the music industry. How does Carti get away with his acts every time? How does Carti still have a flourishing career? And ultimately, is this something more celebrities need to be held accountable for? Ruby Rose would be one of the first public relationships fans would see Carti in. However, it would quickly go downhill, as Carti and Ruby would get into many disputes, with one of them even getting Carti arrested. Ruby Rose and Carti would meet through a mutual friend, Ian Connor, around 2013, where they became very close, as we can see from these romantic tweets by Ruby. But to people in the scene at the time, it seemed quite weird. Now this was because Ian Connor used to literally date Ruby, so it's kinda odd, but anyway.
What? I thought there was like gang or something. What happened?
Back in 2013, Carti was hanging around with Awful Records, meaning he was a broke, underground SoundCloud rapper, which caused Ruby to keep him in the friend zone for the time being.
We were friends first.
Okay.
And while I was in high school, and I remember the first time we met, because we would talk through Twitter and text and shit.
But after Carti signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Interscope Records and became A$AP Rocky's protege, the two would start dating.
He would always try and flirt with me, but I wasn't feeling him then yet. It wasn't until a year into our friendship when we started getting freaky.
Alright, Burgamy.
When he was way more famous.
That's literally how
he's
Burgamy.
Still no, the first. No.
He wasn't
During
lit
this
yet,
time
so
though,
I
Carti
didn't
would
talk
still
to
be
him.
living at Ruby's house in Atlanta, where he
That's
would get
crazy.
up to normal Atlanta things, such
Bro,
as
this is why you don't focus on women, bro. Focus on your motherfucking self.
balcony as a shooting range. But as Ruby stated herself, the two were
Women gonna
crazy
do
in
what they
love,
want, man.
so she probably just let it slide. But also being crazy in love led to them making some rash decisions, which nearly ended in Ruby getting shot. One day as Carti was trying to leave the house and catch a flight, Ruby would hide his phones as she didn't want him to leave. This would lead to Carti getting pretty heated and getting into an argument with Ruby. He had to leave, but Ruby was hiding his phones, so to intimidate her, he got one of the guns and shot it in the air.
We got in a little argument because I hid his phones before his flight, and it just was we were outside. He it wasn't directly at me. It was just more in the vicinity.
Now this wouldn't be the
Wow,
only
bro.
time catching flights caused the two to have a scuffle, as in 2017, Carti and Ruby Rose would get at it again. The two were at LAX, ready to enter their terminal, where Carti asked Ruby to call her mother to check in, but she didn't want to. As Ruby declined, Carti took matters into his own hands, as he would attempt to snatch her phone. This would lead to them getting into a bit of a scuffle, pushing each other back and forth. Carti would eventually get fed up and grab her by her backpack straps and drag her out of the terminal into an Uber, to which she would retaliate by slapping him in the face. A bystander at the airport would end up calling the police, where they would arrive and arrest Playboi Carti. An eyewitness revealed to police that she saw red marks on the woman's chest.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie though. Ruby Rose, dang, bro. Carti, what are you doing?
But cops say that they did not see any physical injuries on her or Carti.
I mean, he can probably go back to her whenever, but chill, bro.
He'd be then taken in and charged for misdemeanor domestic battery and hit with a 20k bail, which was posted the following morning. However, sometime later, the LA City attorney stated that they would not file charges, but instead hold an informal hearing with the rapper and his girlfriend to discuss how best to avoid what went down back in July at LAX. Now, after this incident, their relationship would continue getting worse and more toxic. In an interview with Academics, Ruby would share a story of how Carti got salty as she took a picture of a male friend, which led to Carti admitting that he was cheating on Ruby. Just have a look.
So I went to, it was for Howard's homecoming. I hosted a party in DC for Howard's homecoming. I took a picture with one of the party promoters. In the picture, kind of, not went up, but kind of went up. And he saw the picture. He ended up seeing the picture and was upset about it, but we talked about it. And I explained to him, it was just a friend. I showed him the guy's girlfriend. And then Uzi sent him the picture and was and then after Uzi sent him the picture, he was oh, my niggas are, just it made the situation 10 times worse.
Oh, man. Uzi, the dude I was playing the PlayStation with when my child was being born.
After that incident, Carti
You
and
could
Black
tell
China
Uzi is like
would
his-
be
used to
spotted
be like
multiple
his
times,
best friend.
which started rumors of them dating. But Carti denied
I don't know
them
what
and
their
stated
friendship like
that
now though.
You and Black China had a romp, huh?
Yeah, that's my homie though.
Did she break your heart?
Nah, we ain't that deep. You know what I'm saying?
She let you swing an episode real quick though.
Nah.
Y'all had a little roll around.
Yeah. Good week. Yeah.
It was a good week.
Good
It was
week.
a
Yeah, he ain't
good
lying.
week.
He ain't lying. Good week. But yeah, you know.
Ruby would be pretty upset by all of this, as she felt like she was done wrong. So she would leak her text with Carti, where he was blowing up her phone with messages that read, "Miss you," like crazy.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can it keep
My
me
bad,
warm
y'all.
when I'm cold?
Wait, no, I'm always hot.
Can't even lie. SMH, you want to be mean to me. I'm obsessed with you. Love you, Ruby, forever. Out you. Which Ruby captioned with, "Have fun with him, sis." Kissing emoji. Then to get revenge, Carti would leak Ruby's number. Damn, I need to check if that number's still working. But Ruby Rose would end up breaking things off with
Dang,
Carti,
bro.
which she
They must have had a
stated was due to
really
the
toxic relationship if he's doing all that. If Cardi is doing all that, bro, they must have had a toxic.
rumors
It
of
must
him
have been
being
toxic,
gay
bro.
and also him cheating on
For
her
real.
with Black China. It seems like Carti's first public relationship didn't end on good terms, and to be honest, the other ones that I mentioned in this video don't end on good terms either. After
Okay.
things ended with Ruby and Black China, this is when Carti would start linking with his childhood crush, Iggy Azalea. The duo would first be spotted in the September of 2018.
Wait,
where
so
they would be
Iggy was Cardi's childhood crush? Oh, this man is gonna really die lit, bro. Golly.
snapped up by paparazzi leaving a restaurant in Beverly Hills, where Carti would even be seen buying and giving Iggy an enormous pink flower, which sparked rumors of the two dating.
Hopping in
In the
a
following
double
months,
R.
the two would be continuously spotted in public together at events such as Rolling Loud in California, at the Alix fashion show in Paris, and multiple times at different airports, which at this point, it was confirmed the two were together. And the two were in pretty deep. Iggy would be seen buying Carti a Lamborghini for his birthday,
Crazy.
but Carti would return the favor by buying her a giant diamond ring, which of course got fans thinking
Wow,
that the two
bro.
were engaged. However, the two's relationship wouldn't always be so positive, as in late 2019, the two would be victims of a home robbery, where the suspects broke into their Atlanta home and stole approximately $1 million worth of jewelry. But things would get
Dang.
worse, as Iggy would then take it to Instagram to announce that she is now single. But Iggy would backtrack and post additional stories explaining that she was wrong for speaking about her relationship so publicly, and
Yeah,
that she
why did you do that? Why you do that?
actually loves Carti. So it seemed like the two were together again. Shortly after this, it would be leaked to the press that Iggy is actually 6 months pregnant with Playboi Carti's child. The two would then be spotted in Australia together amid their breakup rumors, and before you knew it, Iggy Azalea's and Playboi Carti's son, Onyx, would be born in the April of 2020. Sorry to interrupt the video, but if you guys are enjoying so far, I'd appreciate if you could subscribe. I'm trying to get to 20k ASAP. Also like and comment. Thank you, let's get back into the video. And in the media and to the public, everything seemed to be going great for the two. They just made up, Iggy is engaged, and they've just had a child. But as we move further into 2020, the dark truth about their relationship would start coming out. Iggy would
Okay.
first take it to Instagram, where she posted stories saying, "You lost a real one. People take loyalty for granted, and that's why I'd rather be
Damn.
alone. What I
Why?
meant last night was that I'm raising my son alone, and I'm not in a relationship."
Bro. Okay, this is when that whole little situation happened. I didn't really know about this too much. I just heard that nigga Cardi was playing the game with Uzi when his son was being born. Wow, bro.
Relationship. Nothing I said was intended to make it seem like my son's father isn't a part of his life, but I've noticed a lot of people took it that way, so I wanted to clear the air. Onyx is so loved by his dad and has always had both parents in his life from
Okay.
day one. And Carti
Alright.
would stay pretty silent throughout all of this, until the November of 2020, where he sent out a cryptic tweet, which read, "I told that bitch shut up, my son crying." And Iggy would actually respond to this, where she stated that she spoke to Carti, where he told her the tweet isn't actually about her, which, you know, like, okay buddy, what are you talking about then? But what was actually going on behind the scenes was much worse than what it seemed like to the public, which is when
What's going
Iggy would
on?
go on Instagram Live to expose how Carti treated her, and also his affair with his side chick Brandy, who is actually now the mother of his daughter, Eve. But we will talk about that later.
Brandy is Jordan's side chick who he's been fucking while I was pregnant. You started
Oh,
fucking
shoot.
Jordan in February. Well, I was, what would that have been, like 8 months pregnant?
So as we can see, Playboi Carti started cheating on Iggy while she was 8 months pregnant with their son, which
Dang,
of course
bro.
is awful. So after Iggy just exposed to the whole world that Carti was having an affair with his side chick Brandy, she would then go into many detailed stories about the times she caught Brandy lacking.
Started fucking you in an Airbnb that he had rented out as a studio while I was pregnant since he couldn't play loud music in our apartment.
So Carti was using an Airbnb as a studio at the time,
Oh
as
my
Iggy was
God.
pregnant and he didn't want to bother her with his ad-libs. Well, at least
Yeah. The little play of the ad libs is hilarious.
that's what he
that
told
was
Iggy,
funny.
but it actually seemed like it was an excuse for something else. And even though that Iggy was pregnant and couldn't help Carti, she was still very thoughtful of him. So out of her pure kindness, she sent out a cleaner to freshen up the studio. But that's when Iggy found out what Carti was actually doing at the studio behind her back.
Bear in mind, while my housekeeper comes to clean this Airbnb for these motherfuckers, there's nobody in there the whole time but Jordan and his couple of little friends. She cleans every single room, no one's in there, leaves, says goodnight, forgets her vacuum, comes back in, and who's sitting on the couch looking like a ghost? Brandy. You were sitting in there.
And you might think, well, first of all, it was Carti's first time being caught with a side chick, so now he'll fix up his behavior and apologize to Iggy. And then secondly, well, now that Brandy has been caught, she'll stop messing with a dude who's literally about to have a kid. Well, that wasn't the case for either of them. And the
Dang,
two,
Brandy is Brandy. Bro, you know, like, if a girl's name is Brandy, she automatically gets like 2, 3, 4 points, bro. Like, usually when I hear Brandy, I'm thinking, oh, this girl gonna be at least cute, at least good looking, bro. She, wow.
would keep going at it.
Yeah,
So I
Brandy
go
is
into
Brandy.
his side of the closet and I see that there is a girl's little roll-along suitcase in there with some makeup and dirty old trashy underpants. You need to buy new drawers too, girl, now. Come on now. Because those shits were raggedy.
And one time, Iggy would even catch Brandy at their house, where she got her friend to kick her out onto the street.
Raven spared you because we were gonna beat your ass at 3 o'clock in the morning, and instead you just were out there with no shoes on the street at 3 a.m. looking fucking stupid
Man,
like a
hey, don't be mad at Brandy. It ain't Brandy's fault. It's Carti's fault. Carti's cheating on you with Brandy. You know what I'm saying? You can't really be mad. I mean, I understand it. You know, she's a woman, you know, and, you know, she's probably, yeah, she got a lot going on. Have a kid. It's a lot. But hold Carti accountable. Don't hold her accountable. Hold Carti accountable, bro.
trash bag whore that
Sir
you
Cartier.
are.
But again, this wouldn't stop Carti and Brandy hooking up, all while Carti was making promises to Iggy where he was pleading her to give him time and space so he can focus on his album. So once he releases it, he will have time to step back from music and be a father. Well, as Carti was making all these promises to Iggy, she felt like their relationship was starting to build again, which is when Carti begged Iggy to fly out to Atlanta with Onyx for Christmas.
Begs me, please, I need to see my son on Christmas. Okay, you know what? I don't want to be here alone on Christmas either. I want to be together as a family too, because things have been going cool between him and I. So I want to be together as a family too for Christmas. So I'm like, all right, let me rearrange my whole week and let's get on a plane.
But Iggy would check the flights, and there was none available, which is when Carti would tell her, don't worry, I'll get you a private jet. But then Iggy rang up Carti's manager, where they told her, Iggy, there's no jets booked. So Iggy then rang up Carti saying, what the fuck, how are we gonna get to Atlanta? Which is when he told her,
This is what this motherfucker tells me. I'll be there in spirit. Really? Your son's first Christmas, you'll be there in spirit because you knowingly got on a plane knowing that would mean that me and him were stuck here in LA by ourselves with no tree, don't have a fucking Christmas dinner plan, can't get to my family because they're stuck in Australia.
Damn. Oh my God. It's just negative after negative after negative after negative after negative. God dang, Carti? Sheesh.
So to sum that up, Carti left his son and Iggy in LA because he wanted to throw a listening party for Whole Lotta Red.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, bro, at least send, you know what I'm saying, get some people to, you got the money, get some people to send some trees, you know, some gifts, get everything situated, some people to bring some stuff in the house. That's what I would do, me personally. if I know I got a listening party and I'm trying to get this little album popping, and it's my kid first Christmas, I'm gonna make sure my kid first Christmas is the best it could possibly be. I'm not just gonna leave my, you know what I'm saying, leave him with no tree, no, you know what I'm saying, like, at least do that.
And if we do further digging, well, Brandy was actually at the listening party.
Oh my God. Like I said, it just keep getting worse and worse. And she posted it.
Carti may have actually purposely sabotaged Iggy and Onyx getting there, just so he can spend time with Brandy at the listening party. To wrap up Iggy's rant, she would then explain that Playboi Carti knowingly missed his son's birth to play the PlayStation with Lil Uzi Vert.
This man didn't even come to see his son be born. He went to Philly to play the PlayStation with Little Uzi. He thought
he didn't even see his son be born. It's crazy.
that was more important than seeing his son be born. And I had a scheduled C-section.
And to make matters worse, during COVID, you would only be allowed one visitor during a birth. Iggy would of course choose Carti to be a visitor, but of course he didn't turn up, so their son was born with only his mother by his side. Iggy also had to beg Carti to sign the birth certificate multiple times, as he refused to sign it, and from what we know, he still hasn't signed it to this day. And at this point, Iggy has had enough, which is when she would start posting screenshots of her and Carti's DMs, where Carti even made the promise that he will marry Iggy one day. She would put out further tweets which read, "To clarify, this man was literally at my house last night."
My thing is, bro, if you don't want to be with her, why get her, like, why even get her pregnant? Like, why even, you know what I'm saying? Why do so much with the woman if you don't even really want to be with her like that? Like, y'all done went through all this stuff. Damn.
Telling me he loves me, so this is very much not me being bitter, it's me not ducking with
Now
trifling
now you
shit.
got a baby mama that y'all don't, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even like each other. You don't even got the time to go and, you know, see your son and stuff. Like, what's the point of even doing this?
My son, and I've not said anything and could.
Is SPS Commerce holding your business back? Is it the months taken by your B2B?
Say much more for the longest time because I know the net won't side with me and that I'm hated. But Christmas, and this bitch proud of you and her stories, LFAO. I've covered for so long, hoping you do better. A lot of women relate. And what she's talking about in that tweet is Brandy, Carti's side chick, actually posted on her stories like screenshots of Whole Lotta Red saying, "Oh, I'm so proud of you, I'm so proud of you," you know, directed at Carti. In another tweet, she would reinforce the fact that Carti literally asked for this child and wanted it, so why is he now acting like a deadbeat? To end things off and make matters seem even worse, Iggy would go on her Instagram story and reveal that Brandy wasn't the only girl Carti was cheating with, as before Brandy, he was supposedly cheating on Iggy with Brandy's best friend.
So what I'm hearing is that while I was in Brazil last December,
this nigga Carti is, bro, he don't care about nothing. He don't care about nothing. He said, "I'm gonna make matters worse, bro." Whole lot
and
of
Jordan
red, bro. Whole lot of
was
red.
in Miami recording in the Hit Factory.
No green at
Little
all.
Miss Brandy, you and your friend, whose profile name I will get, and yes, I will put you on Front Street too, that is coming my way soon, were both in the studio, but he wasn't fucking you yet, Brandy. He was fucking your friend.
But as usual, after all of this, Carti stayed silent. Well, actually, he posted some pictures and videos of him and Onyx. Well, that's all that we would get from him. The only thing we would ever hear from Carti about the relationship would be 2 years later in an interview with XXL, where he opened up about his and Iggy's relationship, saying, "And Iggy, she's a great mum. I love her to death. I'm single, she's single now, but that's one of the best mothers in the world. And that's what you got to put in the book, you hear me? I love her to death. She is the best mother in the world." Now this did fool many fans into thinking, "Aw, look how wholesome and kind Carti is." But Iggy would remind the world of how evil he actually is. After a fan brought up what Carti said in an interview, saying, "He said so many nice things." Well, she responded with, "You've been misled. I don't fuck with a man I'm not even remotely on good terms with claiming he pay my bills. I pay my bills." Secondly, saying nice things for an interview sounds great, but in real life, he talks to me like shit so badly, I had to stop all direct contact. His team has been calling about the interview, hoping for my silence because they know what my my reaction would be. I do appreciate being called a great mum, but when that's not reflective of what he has to say in real life, I'd much rather be left out of being mentioned at all. So from what we just went through, it's quite clear to see how Carti is quite the deadbeat father, but also a terrible partner who cheats and lies at any opportunity he can. Now many of you think this is bad, but at least Iggy wasn't physically harmed. Well, not publicly, but we will get onto that later. As with his next relationship, things turned pretty dark. So after things ended with Iggy, Carti would level Brandy up to main chick status, but things would quickly spiral out of hand. In the December of 2022, Carti and Brandy had been living together for over 2 years, and Brandy was 14 weeks pregnant. However, Brandy wasn't quite sure if Carti was the father, so she brought that conversation up to Carti and had even asked him to take a paternity test, which from what I can read in the report, it seemed like Carti disagreed with whatever Brandy said, leading to an argument which eventually escalated to a physical alteration. Allegedly, a witness tried to jump in and break up the fight between the two, which is when Brandy was able to escape Carti's grasp, where she ran to her car, which was when Carti attacked her again. Brandy told police Carti tried pulling her out of the car and put his hand over her mouth as she tried to use the vehicle's SOS feature to call the police. Cops would soon arrive, where they arrested Carti and stated that Brandy had visible injuries to her neck, chest and back. However, soon after the arrest, Carti's attorney would come out and dismiss everything, stating, "Mr. Carter was falsely accused. Pursuant to my communications with the Fulton County District's Attorney Office, this case will be dismissed without any prosecution or litigation." Which honestly seems crazy to me. Not only did we have a previous domestic abuse case with Ruby, which got dismissed, but now another one just a couple years later. It happened again, with multiple witnesses, just for it to be brushed under the carpet. And it seemed like Carti attempted to take any possible attention away from the situation, as after he was arrested, he returned to Twitter announcing new music, edging fans that he was going to drop. Now I don't know if that was his actual intentions, but it definitely seemed like it. And what it also seemed like, Carti even had some type of physical fight with Iggy, which she spoke about on her Instagram live.
We had a huge, I'm not even going to get into what happened at that fight. I will spare you, Jordan. I'll spare you that. I'll spare you that for now. I leave because I got scared and came to LA.
So out of the 3 public relationships Carti has been in, he's had a fight with each one of them. And that is definitely not a coincidence.
That's
and
crazy,
what's worse
bro.
is that straight after this on Brandy,
crazy.
they would be seen out at a fair, at the weekend show, and she was even wearing his merch on Instagram, all after nearly
And they
ending
all
her
beautiful,
while
bro.
14 weeks pregnant. Iggy would catch news of Carti's arrest, where she would come out on Twitter and say, "Been there, done that, warned you," which was aimed at Brandy, probably telling her that being with Carti is a bad choice. She would then say, "Imagine having a pregnant girlfriend and pretending they don't exist, until it comes out you like to abuse them too, and rarely visiting your actual son unless it's because you're running from whatever problems you got going on in Atlanta and the press with your serial abuse of woman." Overall, it seemed like Carti has a long history of abusing, cheating and lying. I mean, he got arrested for domestic violence and shot at Ruby Rose, then cheated on her
Dang,
with
bro.
Black China. He got into a fight with Iggy, cheated on her multiple times, and constantly lied about wanting to build a family with her. Then Brandy, again, assaulted her. And well, I don't know how they're doing anymore, but I doubt they're having a joyous relationship. It's a shame that a lot of celebrities get away with this stuff. Not only that, but a lot of fans turn a blind eye to it. And if you've made it this far, let me know. Do you separate the art from the artist? If your favorite artist has committed acts like this, will you still play their music? I mean,
I feel like everybody separates the art from the artist. You feel me? Because they may hear some things, or they may find out some things, but the music, it's just, music is just, here's how I see it, right? The music is not really the artist for real. I feel like the artist is like, putting out what they think about type shit. Like putting out what they think of and using their talents and using, you feel me, what they imagine and shit like that. I don't think that the artist and the art are the same thing and can be the same thing. I think the artist is human. And I mean, you can not like the artist and love the music. That's how I look at it. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. I feel like this nigga's crazy. That's it for the video. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Peace out, man.